in about 12 hours since I last made that video talking about Banker Simulator, we've had some contacts from the publisher themselves and even the developer, and things have changed with Banker Simulator. If I hit this is what Banker Simulator looked as before, right? With the AI images and I'm assuming AI images. If you hit refresh though, hey, the actual real photos of the game are now being represented, which is great because this actually paints the correct picture of the game. This is the game, right? This is the game. Look at even the arm sleeve is different. It's the same as the game. You have all of this going on, which, listen, this is the representation of the game. Look at the UI. The currency is fixed. See, some people got confused when I said the currency that doesn't exist with those decimals. It doesn't exist when you are working in a bank. You're doing transactions on the daily with the USD. There is no decimals that is used in the USD when separating hundreds and thousands, millions, and things like that. What is used is actually commas and not decimals. I understand totally there's decimals that are used in different currencies, but when you're representing the USD, this is how it's supposed to be. And this actually, with this UI and this new screenshot of the game, shows a little bit of a better picture. Not only do they not have the decimal in play, but they actually have the currency symbol on the right side now. They don't have a comma for the percentages. They actually have a decimal for the percentages. Just little things like that actually represent the cleanliness of the game. Now, it's easy to say, hey, people are going too fast. Maybe they forgot. And that's the point. Like, people are going way too fast from putting these games out, and they're not even just cleaning up and just thinking about the subtle mistakes that they're making, right? Of course. Now, if you see with this picture here, it shows the money that is cut and being thrown into the washer and being washed, right? Now, from the last game and from when I last played, the game didn't actually represent this. Instead, the game represented money that was stacked being put into the washing machine, which is not right. Isn't it supposed to be cut up and put up in the washing? That's what everyone said in the comments, and that's what the game said. So even that representation of like stacks of money being thrown into the washer was incorrect. And I do believe with the simulator genre that there's so many people out there that want to make the next big hit that they're just funneling. They're just throwing things out there and seeing if it sticks and see if there's a big hit, right? I think that's where the simulator genre falls, is that there's so many people getting these assets, these free assets, learning how to just take a quick tutorial on coding just for a sec and just throw something out there and just see if it sticks again. It's that level of frustration where it's just like people are just they're going so fast that they're making too many mistakes, and then they're really starting to lead customers, the consumer, because I'm a consumer too, right? Leading the customers down a faulty path and just not being honest about what we're seeing. And to kind of just go off into another tangent here, somebody brought up a good just a good point recently, where like, hey, in February there's going to be a game called Luxury Supermarket Simulator. I mean, if you've ever played any supermarket simulator, you know that, hey, that's probably very similar to Supermarket Simulator. Hey, those look like the same items in Supermarket Simulator, right? They're just the same assets, right? Just put into just called something else, right? The elbows, right? We're very familiar with the elbows. We're very familiar with the Norway, right? We're very familiar with the Stark tuna, the freaking milk. And you can just see the UI. I mean, this isn't Supermarket Simulator. This is a whole nother game. This is a whole nother simulator that's coming out. I mean, look at the oil. Look at the jelly candy, the Coke and all that, right? But let's not go down a rabbit hole quite yet. Now, with the publisher actually coming out and messaging us literally hours after the video was published, I told them that I would make an updated video if they changed their screenshots. And they did change their screenshot. So here we are making an updated video. Now, they did say they want me to take down the last video. I said, no, I will not take down the last video, as it will be just for documentation, and it will be used as maybe a source of just an accountability. It's not just for this company. It's not for Red X Games. It's not for developers. It should be a message put out to all of developers and publishers that are working in the simulator genre. Simulator genre is very volatile. It's incredibly it's one of the highest rates of abandonware. Games that go into early access, games that never come out, games that are left behind. Now, in my last video, I made a mistake. I actually did say there was 3 games coming out by Red X Games in 4 months. That is not true. There is not 3 games coming out in early access in 4 months. There are 4 games that are coming out in early access through Red Games. Now, since of the recording of my last video, they did change the date. So now it doesn't say May, it just says Q2 2025. So they did change the date on the release date. You know, it could probably still come out in May. So this was one of the games that was coming out in May before. They probably won't ever say the exact month now again. They'll probably always be kind of like just Q2 kind of thing. But Banker Simulator was Q2, which is game 1. Drive-Thru Simulator was another game that they changed the release date to. This was also a game that was going to be released in May, and this game is now released in Q2. Car Service Simulator was another game that was going to be released, but it was going to be released in April. They changed the release date to now Q2. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's very vague. Now they're going, you know, with these changes of not months, but now they're going into like quarters now. It just makes the release date that much more vague, right? So this is game number 3. This was slated to be released in April. Instead, it's now released in Q2. And the Enigma cases, which was slated to be released in July, is now changed, and they were going to release in Q3. So that's 4 games in the span of 4 months, and they have just recently changed all of their release dates. As before, May 22nd, 2025. As before, April 2025. As before, May 2025. And this is for Drive-Thru Simulator, so this is the 4th game. And as you can see from the previous video, Enigma, July 2025. Honestly, I think this is a nice wake-up call, because I think we might have like caught them like just being a little bit sloppy on the delivery of their games. And this could be a great thing for them going forward. Kind of clean it up, polish it up, and just don't deceive us. Don't deceive customers. Because if you don't have enough time to represent your product, then you don't have enough time for us to consume your product. There's not, you can't just rush stuff out there and just throw it at the wall and hope it sticks. It's a bit of unorganized chaos that is happening here, and it could be a very much wake-up call here. So I'll kind of go over, so a little bit confused, a little bit, tiny bit. We did have somebody comment on, and who seems to be the developer of Banker Simulator. We'll kind of go over that. Okay, so the developer, and I'm assuming this is from Soy Games. I actually asked if this was a developer from Soy Games or Red X Games. I didn't get a reply at the timing of this recording, so I would just maybe assume it's from Soy Games. And they say, "Hey everyone, I'm Soyden, the developer of Banker Simulator. Thanks for playing, Kanz. I read all the feedback carefully, and honestly, it made me sad. I never intended to mislead anyone. You're absolutely right about the store visuals. I'll be updating them in the next couple of days. Also, I realize I didn't explain things well enough. Printing, cutting, laundering money aren't clear. I'll work on making that better too. Your feedback means a lot, and I truly believe I can improve the game with your help. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts. I'd love to see you all try the demo at Steam Next Fest in February. Hopefully, I'll have everything fixed by then." So this is the confusing part about all of this, is that they went on and said that they do plan on fixing the store visuals in a couple of days. The store visuals were fixed in like 12 hours. So the store visuals are already fixed. And the store visuals might have been already fixed before this comment ever came, maybe, or maybe a couple hours after this comment came. And one thing that actually kind of sparks interest is that a couple hours after that video, my last video I published, I went on and, we got a message from the publishers, Red X Games. And they specifically, at least somebody who represents Red X Games, who gave me the key for the demo. They went on to kind of say, we'll kind of talk about it right now. So this is coming from someone straight from Red Axe Games. Says, I saw Kanzi's latest video, which was this again. This was a couple hours after the video posted, and I want to say that I'm sorry. First of all, I appreciate if you could pass this note on to them. This note did get to me, for the record. To clarify, we at Red Axe Games are not the developers of the Banker Simulator game. Yes, that's exactly what I said in the video. I mentioned that Red Axe Games are not the developers of Banker Simulator. And I know this is developed by a different developer than Red Axe, but so with that being said, it is a different development team. I think I might have mentioned that a couple times in the video itself. So they went on to say, our intention was never to create a scam. If that were the case, we wouldn't have uploaded a gameplay video. So I don't know. The wording here is kind of weird. It says, well, we weren't trying, our intentions were not to scam people, but if we were, we wouldn't have done it this way. Is that how that sounds? We wouldn't have uploaded the demo build if we were going to scam you. I don't know. That wording, I don't know, man. However, you are right about the screenshots. We will update them today with actual in-game images. So this is coming straight from the publisher, and they said they're going to update the images right away. And honestly, I'm recording this video about 13 hours after I posted my video. Now you have to think the effort that was gone into creating these AI or these random, this generated images, and having the effort to put in the UI onto these AI generated images. See how fast it was for them to actually create in-game screenshots? I don't understand that part. That effort could have just went into actually giving us gameplay images. So what is the mislead? This is my opinion, of course. My opinion is that the mislead of making the game look really good and making the game stand out could be a way to have people add the game to their wish list. You add the game to the wish list, it helps with the Steam algorithm. And so if games are being wish listed, they go up. That's how the Steam algorithm works, right? So if you have a game and you make it look really pretty, right? People are probably going to passively just see, oh, there's a game coming. There's a game coming. Oh, that's a cool game. Let me just add that to my wish list at a first glance. They're not going to dive into the actual, they're not going to look into any deeper other than, oh, this game's coming soon. Now, they did mention they uploaded a gameplay video. And let's talk about that, because you guys didn't actually change the gameplay video. Because there's a couple of things that seem kind of off in the gameplay video. So this is straight from the Steam store. It's very weird that in this game, and this is just a minor thing. The minor thing here with the gameplay video is that they clearly have, in the gameplay video that shows off the demo, they have what you would see as a 24/7 supermarket, right? Look at this. And I didn't even mention this in the last video. This 24/7 supermarket, open day and night, is literally the exact one from GTA 5. So what are you putting here? This is the gameplay demo. You could argue this is a placeholder, but this is not true. If this is in the game, this is going to be like, this is straight ripoff from GTA 5. Unless this is just a placeholder, Cans. It could be just a placeholder. Why are you putting a placeholder for gameplay demos, right? We want to see the actual game. That's the gameplay. That's the demo that we want to see, right? So in GTA 5, you have the 24/7 supermarket night and day. You have the GTA 5 24/7 supermarket night and day. Just another one in a different location in the game. In another location in GTA 5, you have the 24/7 supermarket night and day. And in Banker Simulator, you have 24/7 supermarket night and day. And then you have freaking Scarface, The World Is Yours, right above. There. Are we going to be able to have a Scarface photo in our bank? I don't know. but you have it in the gameplay demo. So to continue with the message itself, it says, you are right about the screenshots. We will update them today with the actual in-game images. So the publisher says we'll do it right away. The developer says we'll do the store visuals in a few days. I don't know who's communicating with who, but you know, and this isn't like I'm out to like get Red Axe Games. It's nothing like that. There could be multiple reasons here. Red Axe Games is the publisher. Now they have a developer. Red Axe Games is developing and publishing 3 other games in the span of 4 months, while Soy Games is developing this game, which is the fourth game in the 4 months. And so who knows, relations between publishers and developers, maybe they're all one giant family, maybe they're not. So maybe they don't know. But I do believe with publishers and things like that, you got to do some quality control. You got to make sure that whatever is representing your name, your company, you got to make sure things are like running correctly. Because you can't just like, who's running this thing, right? Who's running it? The developer, the publisher, Toy Games, Red Axe Games, gotta be on top of this. They went on to say, during the game's development, since the screenshots were not ready, our art team quickly created visuals to describe the game and set up the store page efficiently. What do you mean the game wasn't ready? You have gameplay demo of the game. What was not ready about the screenshots? Am I losing my mind here? Hey, you saw how fast you did this in like less than 12 hours to get the screenshot, the gameplay screenshots up. I promise you, if I would have never made this video, those screenshots would have never changed. I promise you. In fact, we used everything exactly as it is in the game. The only difference is that the bank building in the demo is smaller. In early access, it will be the same building shown in those renders. So in the demo, the building that you're in is not actually the building you're going to be playing in when the game does release. They've used visuals, I guess, from or in the previous screenshots, and then they've just added things on top of it to make it look better. So let's kind of look into that, shall we? So if I'm understanding this correctly, this bank will be the bank you'll be able to be in, except the visuals are just not correct. The visuals were just created from the art team. This bank will be correct, but these are just visuals that were created from the art team. And you see the UI. Yeah, this is representing gameplay. If there's no disclaimer saying this is not actual gameplay, you are trying to represent gameplay. That's the issue. These are the problems here, right? The art team can make all they want, but when you start putting UI and you start representing gameplay, this is the issue, right? This is the issue. So this bank as well also, I guess, represents the game as some degree, maybe not visually, but this is probably the closest thing you'll get to the actual early access game, maybe early access. This picture we've already went through. These are the laundry machines, or the washing machines, sorry, to wash the money, except the gameplay doesn't, like the visuals here doesn't actually represent the gameplay. It's just mock-ups, right? Because we already talked about, you have to cut the money to wash it, because that's what the gameplay demo shows, but they don't actually do that in the screenshot. They just throw it in there. Yeah. So these are probably added, or maybe, but I guess the other things are just arts that are drawn up. Maybe this is part of the bank. I don't know. These are just arts that were drawn up and used as placements as well. At least this is what they're saying. And this is actually the demo. I do believe this is actually like the game building demo for sure. I do believe that 100%. That looks like the game. This one could be it too. This also could be the game, but just really altered and adding visuals to it, right? But the background could be the game. This one, not entirely sure, but obviously the massive, just like, you can tell, kind of sloppy, right? We've already been over that. Just visuals added for the game. And then these, obviously, I don't think this is going to be like something you'll see in the game, because, unless this is a cutscene, these animations, I mean, you have like this guy in this hand doing this, but these character models, I don't think are the character models that they're probably going to be using. And the reason why I say that is because in their gameplay demo, you can kind of see already what NPCs that they're using. This one right here is obviously just an absolute joke. I'm not going to get into that again. So straight through the to the gameplay demo that they represent on Steam, which is this is the demo gameplay trailer for the game. You can tell just by these AIs and these NPCs. You already know we've seen these NPCs thousands of times. We already know what assets these are. Of course, it could be a work in progress. Maybe they'll change it. Maybe they won't. We'll have to see when the game actually releases. But these are what the NPCs really look like. This is what they look like. They don't look like how they represented them in the in the screenshots before. This is the game. This is actually what you're getting. This is actually what you're downloading. This is actually what you're wish listing. So after that, they go, in short, there was no bad intention here. I sincerely apologize for the misunderstanding. We are a team around 40 people and we are developing our other projects ourselves. It's a big team. If they are claiming 40 people, which I don't know if that's true or not, but they are claiming 40 people. These are the people from Red Axe Games that are saying this. It's a pretty big team, right? It's a big team of Red Axe Games, and they are, as of, I guess, 40 people deep for Red Axe Games, the publisher. Now, the thing is it doesn't matter if you're 40 people, 5 people, 10 people, -2 people, you know, if you're rushing stuff out, you can't just rush stuff out like that. You got to have some quality control, right? You are doing 4 games, publishing 4 games in 4 months, right? 4 games in 4 months. Yes, you are Red Axe Games developing 3 other games at the moment, and you have this other developer developing this game at the moment. But there got to be some, you know, my problem is deceiving people into tricking people into thinking this is the game you might get, and then it doesn't actually be that. Like I said, these visuals, the screenshots that were made for the game, what were they there for? Why? If it took 12 hours to put up, if it took 12 hours to put up 14 screenshots of the actual game, why was it an issue this whole time? This is actual gameplay. These are the new screenshots put up on Steam, right? New screenshots put up on Steam. That's the game, right? That's the game. That's what the game looks like. That's what the game looks like. That's it. That's good stuff, right? That's what people should be expecting when they add the game to their wish list. And you can argue for sure that we were in a rush. I don't think we were in a rush or it's been busy is an excuse at all. Time it out. Time management. Do it. You know? It's, you know, timely manner, right? Now, they did go on to say that they would like to ask once they updated the screenshots today, would I consider taking down the video? And I've kind of already asked that. I will not take down the video. The video will stay up, but I will at least provide an update video, let people know that the game screenshots have been corrected, the game release dates have been changed. I will at least do that, you know. And then they go on to say, I will fix the game and send you keys for the full version, but if you don't want to play it, it's completely fine. Looking forward to your response. This is where things get even more weird. This person who represents Red Axe Games says, I will fix the game and send you keys. Who's working on the project? Before, you said it was a different developer, and you are not the developer. But now you are saying, I will fix the game. Are you saying I'm going to go to the developer and tell him to fix it? Or are you physically going to go in to fix the game? Who's pointing fingers where? Because I don't know which way to look, right? Is Red Axe developing the game? Is Red Axe fixing the game? Or is Soy Games fixing the game? Who is fixing the game, right? So that left me with a little bit of confusion. I just want to clarify that I never said this game was a scam. I said probably, but I left it up to the viewer to interpret it themselves. It's up to them to interpret it if it's a scam for themselves. I never said it was a scam. I said it probably is. Probably doesn't mean it is. Probably doesn't mean it's not. There's a high chance. Maybe. Do I honestly think it's a scam? Like now, listen, I'm not saying it's a scam. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of deceiving and misleading. And if you say that we were rushed, or, you say that we just had to have someone quickly throw some things together, like with the amount of time it took just to change the store page now in like the 12 hours, why again put the effort on these AI generated images of the UI? Take the UI and you put it on these just visuals that don't represent gameplay at all, and then you leave it up there. It's misleading, and I honestly think it was probably because they wanted to get more wish lists for the actual game so that it would go up in the algorithm, because that's a lot of effort. That's too much effort for an art team to go ahead and kind of just throw screenshots together to represent a game. Art visuals, and I don't even know some of these assets in the game. I'm trying to like pick out what the art team does in these games and who is what things are being altered by the art team. Are they major? Are they minor? Are they doing like, customer ID UI? Are they doing the UI in general? Right? Yeah. After I did let them know, I passed on the message through, and I said I wouldn't take down the last video. But I did say I would make another video, which is this. They went on to say, okay, I will change the appropriate store images and additionally fix the game's bugs and let you know again. So this person, whoever this person is going to go and fix, it sounds like they're going to go and fix the game's bugs and all that. Are they Red Axe games? Because they clearly mentioned before that it was a different developer that was doing it and not Red Axe games. Anyways, fire your thoughts down below. I'd like to hear what you think about this and all that. And I do hope that the game is nice and polished when it does come out, and there's a good chance that we can end up checking it out once it does release in early access. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Depends. We'll see how things go. But yeah, there might be a few things you want to change in the gameplay demo trailer too, because that's like a GTA 5 gas station supermarket. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Take care.